To our beloved school director, Dr. Ednas Gonzalez, Director of Curriculum, Supervision and Innovation, Maria Edna Soledad Gonzalez Blancaflor, School Principal of Ednas School Dagupan, Florante M. Miranda, School Principal of Ednas School San Carlos, Dr. Bernadette Sila Torre, School Principal of Ednas School Alaminos, Dr. Christine Shelo F. Braganza, administrators, members of the faculty, parents and guests, a pleasant day to all of you. We are gathered today for the third virtual graduation of the preparatory department. We are filled with excitement this year because we celebrate this special event together with our sister schools as one group of schools. The preparatory graduation of Ednas School Dagupan, Ednas School San Carlos, and Ednas School Alaminos. Our prep pupils have completed school in the midst of global pandemic, and they have achieved a new milestone in learning and are looking forward to an exciting school year. This school year, prep pupils coming from the three campuses are combined under the Ednas School Dagupan campus.
With so much gratitude to our dear Lord for all His blessings and guidance, please join us for the invocation. This will be followed immediately by the Philippine National Anthem.
Many nights we've prayed with no proof anyone could hear. In our hearts a hopeful song we barely understood. Now we are not afraid, although we know there's much to fear. We were moving mountains long before we knew we could. There can be miracles when you believe. The hope is frail, it's hard to cure. Who knows what miracles you can achieve? When you believe, somehow you will. You will when you believe. In this time of fear, when prayer so often proved in vain, hope seemed like a summer bird too swiftly flown away. Yet now I'm standing here with heart so full I can't explain, seeking faith and speaking words I never thought I'd say. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard
Pambansang Awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, Ednas ng sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagatang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong pagaw, ay hinatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nagkikinig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pang ay di magdidinig. Luman ang araw ng walhaging pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang inigaya ng pagkay mga amin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
To formally welcome us on this very memorable occasion, here are Raven Xander T. Frias and Ayara Savine B. Bendiberapdar with their welcome address.
Our beloved school director, Dr. Edna Torrio Gonzalez, the director of Curriculum, Supervision, and Innovation, Maria Edna Soledad Gonzalez Blancaflor, the principal of Edna School Dagupan, Mr. Florante M. Miranda, the principal of Edna School San Carlos, Dr. Bernadette C. Latorre, the principal of Edna School Alaminos, Dr. Christine Shelo F. Braganza, administrators and teachers of the Ednas Group of Schools, parents and grandparents, guests and friends, good evening. Today is a special event, the third preparatory virtual graduation day. It is our great achievement to make it here today. Raven and I are so proud to share this moment with all of you. We are happy for this big milestone in our young life. This year, we experienced various changes that affected our normal lives as young pupils. But this did not stop us from discovering new opportunities in learning. We are so glad that together we are all here to celebrate our achievements. Our continuous efforts have led us to this proud moment of our life. We have worked hard to complete a milestone during these times when we need to be strong. Likewise, our parents and teachers are proud of us for not giving up on learning.
It is with utmost joy and pride that we send you our warm virtual hugs as we give honor to the preparatory graduates of the school year 2021-2022. This is one unique but very memorable occasion because we are celebrating it virtually. Like last year, we do not get to shake hands or hug our friends and classmates. We can go to places to eat and party together only with our family to share this happy moment. We give importance to safety by greeting each one virtually. To this event, our graduation day shows how meaningful our efforts are. We faced a lot of challenges along the way, but that did not stop us from moving forward. Instead, they gave us the strength and determination to reach this point in our lives. We also would like to thank the dedication of our loving teachers who stood as our second parents as well. Even through online classes, they were still very patient with us and they did not stop helping us understand our lessons. They also worked with our parents to assist us with our activities. Through them, we can be the future generation of excellent and responsible individuals.
May we always find God in everyone, in every place, and in everything.
On behalf of the preparatory graduating class of 2021-2022, we warmly welcome all of you to our third virtual graduation.
May this joyful moment bring us the light of success and happiness in our lives. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us now watch and enjoy the processional of the preparatory graduating class of 2021-2022. Please give them a resounding virtual applause.
It's a world of laughter, a world of tears. It's a world of hopes and a world of fears. There's so much that we share that it's time we're aware. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small world a small, small world. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small, small world. It's a small, small world.
Matilda.
Prep the Jungle Book.
It's a world of laughter, a world of tears. It's a world of hopes and a world of fears. There's so much that we share that it's time we're aware. It's a small world after all. 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 It's a small, small world.
We have now come to the distribution of certificates to our preparatory graduating class of the school year 2021-2022. Prep Matilda. Boys: Jacob Esia Cayabyab E. Legaspi, Rafael Willard De Leon E. Servito, Prince Richard Esguera E. Latorre, Ian Barry Macmillan E. Dala, Timothy Joseph Peralta E. Trivilla, Darren Andrew Tagulao E. Jimenez. Girls: Kendall Rain Alba E. Paragas, Driana Eve de la Cruz E. Bautista, Harmanpreet Kaur, Ayara Savin Mediberakdar E. Buenafe, Tar Ramos E. Inchoco, Jada Martina Roses E. Hoves, Chloe Marie Sadueste E. Decano, Chelsea Tulud E. Solomon,
Prep the Jungle Book. Boys: Mark Andre Bruant E. Castrense, Oz Coronia E. Balolong, Liam James Daliwan E. Agas, Raven Xander Frias E. Tamayo, Chelo Mateo Mandapat, Gilbert II Narag E. Barrios, Azur Peralta E. De Vera, Jaden Kyrie Tanggilig E. Mamaril. Girls: Monique Bugayong E. Toledo, Zara Arian Katambing E. Cadiz, Amani Wanjiro Karaoke E. Kapulong, Isabel Chloe Rivera E. Orpilia, Aisha Chloe Vargas E. Villegas. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the graduates of the preparatory class of Ednas School, school year 2021-2022. Congratulations!
Our Director of Curriculum, Supervision and Innovation, Maria Ednas Soledad Gonzalez Blancaflor, will deliver her inspirational message.
In the midst of a divisive and heart-wrenching political campaign and elections, the Ednas group of schools carried on its daily classes and activities. Days were filled with synchronous and asynchronous lessons, written and oral exams, project-based learning exhibitions, co- and extracurricular projects, virtual student learning conferences, and many more enriching pursuits. Before we knew it, summer and the rains arrived. And just like the change in season, a change in government is soon to commence. I learned from my mother, Edna Torrio Gonzalez, founder of the Edna School, that the only permanent thing in this world is change. This change is not a kind of mere substitution of one thing for another, or an act of instance of making or becoming different, or an alteration or modification. It is the kind of change that innovates, converts, and transforms. It is a change of attitude, emotion, or viewpoint. It is that movement and process from one of indifference, disbelief, or antagonism to one of acceptance, faith, or enthusiastic support. It is one that leads to a transformation in character, form, or function. In a deeper sense, it is even one that heals, cleanses, and purifies. The Edna School has gone through more than 55 years of tremendous change. Dr. Edna Torrio Gonzalez has grown an institution from a small class of 35 to 3 innovative, progressive, and transformative campuses. She poured her heart, sweat, and blood into planting, pruning, and shaping her school. She and the Edna School have weathered beautiful fair skies and howling storms. There were kind days and more harsh, heartbreaking, even brutal seasons. As Mom would always say, all my life I burned my midnight candle, and the experiences I've gained came with great humility. This is a lesson the current school leadership, faculty, and staff take to heart. The Edna School is Edna's love. It is her rose. Dear graduates and honorees, to be significant in this world, it is how much time and effort one invests in caring for what is important that holds true. In your case, these are your studies, your interests and desires, your hopes and dreams, your friendships and bondings, your loves. It is a time you spent and will spend on things, both material and non-material, interior and exterior, seen and unseen, both revealed and still unrevealed, that will define your growth and transformation, your change. These are the roses of your life. And just like the fox and the little prince who said, it is only with the heart that one can see rightly what is essential is invisible to the eye. Our eyes can be quite remarkable in their ability to recognize things where they should be. However, using only our eyes to keep up with all the happenings around us can be quite overwhelming, just like the events in school, in our family, in our community, and in our country. Only the heart can see clearly, because the eyes can miss what is important, what is essential. Dedicating your life to something makes that something important. Just like the little prince, dedicating his time to his rose makes his rose important, and in turn transforms his life to becoming more significant. And sometimes, if not most times, people forget this. And so the fox continued, "But you mustn't forget it. You are responsible for what you have tamed. We are forever responsible for what we have tamed, what we have loved, our roses in life." And so, as our country and nation face new transitions, so does the Ednas group of schools. Despite the pandemic, Ednas was conferred top awards in academics and pre-accreditation. In March of this year, the Ednas School Dagupan received the Math Achievement Award by Scholastic for winning the top award in the 2022 Prime Mathematics Olympiad and was one of the top 5 scorers out of 16 participating schools nationwide. And in May 2022, out of 12 participating finalists from all over the country, the Ednas School Dagupan was one of the 3 outstanding Bawat Paaralan Edukampiyon BPE Pioneer Awardees, while the Ednas School Alaminos was one of the finalists. The BPE Continuum is a whole school approach to ensure that every child in each school is a Filipino whole learner, healthy, safe, engaged, supported, challenged, and values-oriented. It aims to cultivate a whole Filipino of this nation and of the world. Our duty and responsibility remain steadfast, and with courage and faith, continue to thrive in the process and journey of change and transformation. Like life and love, a rose can overcome difficulty and eventually find inner harmony, union, and true joy. Its growth and bloom change depending on the way it is planted, grafted, and pruned. And from one season to another, a rose's color may change too, from a blushing to a rainbow into a sunny knockout rose. And so will the Ednas group of schools remain as a rose of Edna, and all of its pupils, students, and alumni, all of you are Edna's roses. The Ednas School will forever be responsible for what it has loved. With this, my prayer for you is that you seek and find God, love and serve Him in all things. Be that rose He created. Be roses for each other. Only then will the heart of Edna live on.
Huwag kang mabahala, ikaw ay mahalaga, hindi kita pababayaan. Haan ka nga sa balid ay to'y kumatipat-pat siyam nga sikati pili inaldaw. Igalaman ko akang kaya, alaman ko ang hindi Nalaman ko ang kaministiran para makasirbi. Maintras mi kaayatan, maintras mi gagma, sanag ang magadaeg. At hindi ko may papangako ang kulay rosas na mundo para sa'yo, at hindi ko may ilawan ang lahat ng anino. Pero sisikapin ko at hindi ako magpapahinga hanggat hindi mo pa magawang muling ipagmalaki na ika'y isang Pilipino. Ayaw kahagit aduna kay kauban sa pakigbisog, magkuyog ta upukaw sa nasud. Balukeying agyuko, balukeying ali, balukeying mirapat para mikapagsilbi, hanggang ating mayap, hanggang ating pamaglugod, hing sa lalaging manyambut. At hindi ko may papangako ang kulay rosas na mundo para sa'yo, at hindi ko may ilawan ang lahat ng anino. Pero sisikapin ko at hindi ako magpapahinga hanggat hindi mo pa magawang muling ipagmalaki na ika'y isang Pilipino. Sa puso miya'y labay na pag Pilipinon makpal tanon alagay lamet. Pilipinon maksil so panagtalindag, antam so dugatan antoy twa. Samahan mo ako. At hindi ko may papangako ang kulay rosas na mundo para sa'yo, at hindi ko may ilawan ang lahat ng anino. Pero sisikapin ko at hindi ako magpapahinga hanggat hindi mo pa magawang muling ipagmalaki na ika'y isang matatag at matapang at mabuti at mapagmahal na Pilipino. Pilipino, Pilipino.
The pandemic proved no hindrance for Ednas School in clinching the top spot as one of the 3 winning schools in the recently concluded Bawat Paaralan Edo Kampiyon BPE Continuum Congress 2022, which was virtually hosted by Rex Edo Kampiyon team, held last May 20, 2022. To further elaborate about the Bawat Paaralan Edo Kampiyon, let's listen to Mrs. Josephine R. Pagador and Mrs. Susana D. Caligdan, teacher leaders of Ednas School, Dagupan.
The Bawat Paaralan Edo Kampiyon Continuum is a whole school approach to ensure that every child in every school is a Filipino whole learner, healthy, safe, engaged, supported, challenged, and values-oriented. The BPE Continuum was developed by Rex Education in partnership with Dr. Jerome T. Buenviaje, Dean of the UP College of Education, and Dr. Joel C. Habinyar, also of the UP College of Education. Rex Education Chief Executive Officer Don Timothy Buhain said that it is no longer enough that our children are in school. They should also be healthy and safe. It is no longer enough that they are taught. They should be engaged, supported, and challenged. It is no longer enough that we go about our traditional fair share of work. We need to consciously champion education. At every stage of development, the program was also enriched and reviewed by an esteemed panel of educators. Dr. Dina Ocampo of the UP College of Education, Rita Atienza of the Ateneo Science and Art of Learning and Teaching Institute, Dr. Philomena Dayagbil of the Cebu Normal University, and Dr. Edison Fermin of the National Teachers College.
The BPE Continuum main document is a matrix of benchmarks along 7 domains: school, culture and climate, leadership and responsibility, curriculum and assessment, teaching and learning, learning environment, professional development, and school and family and community. These domains correspond to the areas of improvement identified by the Department of Education. It also ensures that every school is committed to the task of molding students in a good learning environment, promoting learner-centered education, and upholding the global standards required in the 21st century. While the BPE is not an accreditation system, it prepares and equips a school for any type of accreditation. Also, according to Sir Buhain, BPE is not about sanction and rewards like other accreditation. What should drive a school to implement the BPE is the desire to improve itself and to maximize its capacities for the benefit of its students.
It is with pride and honor to present to you the audio-visual presentations of Ednas School Dagupan's journey as BPE Outstanding Pioneer Awardee 2022 and Ednas School Alaminos as one of the 12 finalists.
Ednas School Dagupan's Reach and Grit program fortifies its curriculum, assessment, and instruction to meet the demands of online distance learning. One of the most impactful ways to verify if our school policies and programs are aligned with the whole child tenets is by joining the Bawat Paaralan Edukampiyon Continuum. It is the core principle, which is learner-centeredness, that prompted us to join and be a part of its advocacy. We came up with the 6 facets because we feel the need to reassess and calibrate our existing programs and policies. The internal stakeholders are the seasoned teachers, while external stakeholders are those who are committed to undertake the journey. A virtual orientation on the BPE Continuum Implementation Kit, which contains the individual commitment form, was planned and presented, followed by a series of virtual sessions to accomplish the Bawat Paaralan Edukampiyon timetable and school assessment tool for improvement, or SAT. Each facet formed a chat room for communication. We utilized the BPE SATI to conduct an actual assessment to complete the school evaluation. Based on the 7 components and indicators, each team deliberately and critically rates the given facet. To ensure the accuracy of each player's rating, each indicator provides documents that validate our assessment, whether it's directly relevant to the learner or at the school level. The results of the BPE SATI showed that we should focus on the healthy facet in this time of pandemic to achieve the goal of championing each child. The scoring was tedious as more evidence should be gathered. Meetings are also occasionally postponed due to low participation. All 6 assessment teams have been merged into one action group and designed an intervention that addressed the objectives: time-bound for testing, economical, and sustainable. We decided to amplify and restructure the homeroom program in collaboration with the guidance program.
Hi, I'm Don. In our homeroom class, we are taught how to strengthen our values, how to be kind and respectful, and maintain a healthy body image by washing our hands thoroughly, taking vitamins daily, and eating healthy foods, especially in this time of pandemic.
It incorporates mental health education to support the well-being of our learners. The homeroom program follows a thematic approach such as digital citizenship, social-emotional learning, and gamified activities. Other interventions are incorporated in co-curricular activities such as attending webinars on topical subjects for our students, instructors, and staff, spearheaded by the agencies our school is affiliated. The conduct of recollections, pep weeks, pamaskong handog, and club meetings is intensified to edify their physical, mental, and spiritual aspects, social and moral obligations. The sports club initiated e-games for health break to our learners. Moreover, to keep our community abreast of the school's events, we continue the publication of our e-paper, The Breakthrough and The Torch. Roadblocks along the way are inevitable in ODL modality. Time management, negotiation, flexibility, and teamwork helped us to make it through. The reflections, feedbacks, and the result of our learners' academic performances indicated that the intervention really worked. We were able to deliver our best practices and revive the organization of clubs. Values such as negotiation, empathy, leadership, and other soft skills were highlighted. Joining the BPEC implementation is not a race to accomplish. It is a journey to take. We were able to take a step back and think on how we practice self-care and mindfulness. The BPE SI tool, PAYAC SSIP tool are both designed for the school's improvement and the learners. The 7 components of the BPE SI tool covers the holistic development of a child. BPEC has helped our school acknowledge its strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Teachers must attend professional conferences and continue to learn about children and teaching. The central figure of BPE Continuum. We should never cease to challenge our learners to develop their maximum potential, which is possible through BPEC. Finally, to quote Dennis Waitley, the greatest achievements are those that benefit others. Thank you, and to God be all the glory.
Ednas School Alaminos is one of the pioneers of the REX Bawat Paaralan Edu Kampiyon. As part of it, REX Bookstore Incorporated invites our school to produce audiovisual documentation of its experience in implementing the Bawat Paaralan Edu Kampiyon Continuum. Moreover, completing the profile teams per facet is a challenge. It took us roughly, more or less, a month to complete it together with the form collection. Ednas School Alaminos shares the same vision as BPE, which is to ensure the holistic development of every Filipino learner. To uphold this vision into reality, we went through BPE orientation, whereas different terms and the implementation processes were discussed. We came up with a timetable based on the presentation of Dr. Jerome Buenviaje and Dr. Joel Javinior. The logistics team initiated a meeting regarding the explanation of SATI forms on how to be accomplished and to be answered by the stakeholders. We had a month to fill in the said form. And to address the questions regarding the SATI forms, a breakout session per facet was held.
We use the BPE School Assessment Tool for Improvement to evaluate the practices we've been integrating and identify the areas we need to improve and focus on. Based on the consolidated SATI results, we considered focusing on the lowest component core in Tier 1.
Based on the SATI results, we conceptualized trans-faceted programs. For the supported facet, we conducted a virtual leadership training to educate the students on the importance of being a leader during the pandemic and how to be a great example for the whole community. Healthy Facet aims to look for the best practices that will help the learners to grow physically, mentally, socially, and spiritually healthy. With this, Ednas School Alumnus partakes in the Teen Bulilit program, a program initiated by the Philippine Medical Association. This aims to educate the young about health-related issues through having virtual sessions. Adapted from the SATI, we also collected data to check on the effectiveness of our programs or projects per facet.
We actually needed to plan carefully and make sure that everything needed for the program were all prepared properly. The Teen Bulilit program definitely taught me several ways on how I could take care of myself, which I can later on use in certain situations that may occur in the future.
The BPE Continuum improved the interactions and offered collaborative learning experiences to our stakeholders, putting our contexts in a more practical sense, translating our pre-pandemic practices into online instructions, enhancing sensory experiences, and providing hybrid learning modalities that we didn't offer before. We also have opportunities to pinpoint specific program facets that need more focus and provide an avenue for the right intervention. Equipped with the transfaceted BPE Continuum, we can now have a shot to a better normal.
BPE determined the areas, practices, projects, and activities that we need to maintain and improve them. This program gave us a chance to look back and evaluate on the things we did in order to assess them.
BPE has been an integral part when it comes to cultivating the skills of not only the students but also the teacher. The challenge facet aims to help the students be engaged and be immersed when it comes to learning about having their own initiative and self-direction.
The BPE initiative allowed Ednas School Alumnus to see things in a new light. Because we strive for excellence, we are able to look more deeply at the implications of what we are doing and seek to enhance them to better serve the needs of our Ednasian community. We would like to thank Rex Education for allowing Ednas School Alumnus to participate in this worthwhile experience. Rest assured that we will continue to unlearn and relearn things for the foreseeable future.
By continuing to learn in whatever platform, and for the unending encouragement and guidance of their teachers and parents, it is now time to give due recognition to deserving pupils. We now come to the conferral of medals to the most outstanding and outstanding pupils of the preparatory class of the school year 2021 and 2022. To qualify for the most outstanding award, a pupil must have a general average of 98 to 100% and with a letter grade not lower than VG or A in character development. To qualify for the outstanding award, a pupil must have a general average of 94 to 97.99% and with a letter grade not lower than VG or A in character development. At this time of pandemic, the Ednas group of schools has adopted a no-ranking grading system. The conferral of medals to the most outstanding and outstanding pupils will be presented by the class advisors.
We have the honor to present to you the recipients of the most outstanding and outstanding awards of the graduating preparatory class of Ednas School for the school year 2021-2022. Most Outstanding, Kendall Rain Alba E. Paragas, daughter of Mr. Ronald B. Alba and Mrs. Rosel Paragas Alba. Most Outstanding, Mark Andre Bruant E. Castrense, son of Mr. Mark Rai Bruant and Mrs. Stephanie Castrense Bruant. Most Outstanding, Driana Eve de la Cruz E. Bautista, daughter of Dr. Emmanuel R. de la Cruz and Dr. Beverly Bautista de la Cruz, alumni of Ednas School Batch 1998 and 1997 respectively. Most Outstanding, Rafael Willard de Leon E. Servito, son of Mr. Joseph D. De Leon and Mrs. Marian Estrella Servito de Leon, alumna of Edna School Batch 1996. Most Outstanding, Raven Xander Frias E. Tamayo, son of Jail Officer 3 Ricky P. Frias and Mrs. Zenia Tamayo Frias, an alumna of Edna School San Carlos, Batch 2001. Most Outstanding, Harmanpreet Kaur, daughter of Mr. Sarbjit Singh and Mrs. Rajwant Kaur. Most Outstanding, Ian Barry Macmillan E. Dala, son of Mr. Ian Andrew Macmillan and Mrs. Priscilla Dala Macmillan. Most Outstanding, Ayara Savin Medeberakdar E. Buenafe, daughter of Dr. Ali G. Medeberakdar and Mrs. Stephanie Buenafe Medeberakdar. Most Outstanding, Star Ramos E. Inchoco, daughter of Mr. Jerry B. Ramos and Mrs. Eve Inchoco Ramos. Most Outstanding, Isabel Chloe Rivera E. Orpilia, daughter of Miss Maria Lourdes O. Rivera. Most Outstanding, Darren Andrew Tagulao E. Jimenez, son of Mr. Mark Daryl M. Tagulao and Mrs. Karen Westpalin Jimenez Tagulao. Most Outstanding, Jaden Kyrie Tangilig E. Mamaril, son of Mr. Jeffrey C. Tangilig and Mrs. Joanne Mamaril Tangilig.
Outstanding, Jacob Esia Kayabyab E. Legaspi, son of Mr. Julius M. Kayabyab, alumnus of Edna School Grade School Batch 1990, and Mrs. Editha Legaspi Kayabyab. Outstanding, Oz Coronia E. Balolong, son of Mr. Ernesto A. Coronia and Mrs. Mona Lisa Balolong Coronia, alumna of Edna School Grade School Batch 1986. Outstanding, Prince Richard Esguera E. Latorre, son of Mr. Richard A. Esguera and Mrs. Marisa Latorre Esguera. Outstanding, Amani Wanchiro Karaoke E. Capulong, daughter of Mr. Hudson Mena Karaoke and Miss Joanne S. Capulong. Outstanding, Gilbert II Narag E. Barrios, son of Mr. Gilbert P. Narag and Mrs. Charo Barrios Narag. Outstanding, Cheda Martina Roses E. Hoves, daughter of Mr. Julio C. Roses and Mrs. Joanna Marie Hoves Roses. Outstanding, Chelsea Tulod E. Solomon, daughter of Mr. Elpidio A. Tulod Jr. and Mrs. Mary Solomon Tulod. Outstanding, Aisha Chloe Vargas E. Villegas, daughter of Mr. Olimer L. Vargas and Mrs. Marites Villegas Vargas. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the recipients of the Most Outstanding and Outstanding Awards of the preparatory class of Edna School, school year 2021-2022. Congratulations! To speak on behalf of the prep graduates, here are Jaden Kyrie M. Tangilig, Star I. Ramos, and Darren Andrew J. Tagulao for the graduate message.
Beloved School Director, Dr. Ednas Gonzalez, the Director of Curriculum, Supervision, and Innovation, Maria Ednas Gonzalez Blancaflor, the School Principal of Ednas School Dagupan, Mr. Floranta M. Miranda, School Principal of Ednas School San Carlos, Dr. Bernadette Sila Torre, School Principal of Ednas School Alaminos, Dr. Christine Shelo F. Berganza, administrators and teachers of the Ednas Group of Schools, parents and grandparents, guests and friends. On behalf of the graduating preparatory class of 2021-2022, we greet each one of you with a pleasant evening.
Jaden, Star, and I are so happy to be able to speak on behalf of our classmates to tell you how grateful we are for the loving support of our school and for making sure that we are learning excellently at home through online distance learning. Despite the challenges and uncertainties brought about by the global pandemic, our achievements are even more impressive. Our teachers did a good job in preparing us for the next step. They always reminded us to believe in ourselves and be proud of what we can do. We always felt loved and guided during this unusual situation. We also dedicate this moment to our loving parents for their unwavering support. They encourage us to cherish the fruits of our hard work. They made sure that we did our assignments, reviewed our quizzes and exams, and helped us be prepared for our PPL presentation. Those were some of the most exciting but challenging times in our virtual classes.
We experienced many things during this year that will always stay in our hearts. These were the fun times we had when we joked and laughed over some funny things online with our classmates. We are now experts on how to mute and unmute our microphones when we need to recite. We also do not turn off our cameras unnecessarily now, until our class is done. The transitions we have done are awesome. But there is one thing that our teacher always reminded us, that even during the online class, we have to be respectful and be kind to one another in our words and actions.
We may not be physically with each other due to the health restrictions, and our parents said it's still unsafe to go out because not all children are vaccinated, but we still get to see each other virtually. It is during online distance learning that we learn the deeper meaning of pandemic, the importance of getting vaccinated, and having booster shots. But most of all, we learn to show compassion and love for others and to follow and respect the leaders of our country. These values will always remain in our hearts even when we grow up. Our graduation is really a memorable one. We will wear only our complete school uniform for our souvenir pictures. No stage, no photos with our classmates, and no hugs from friends. But let us always remember that we care and love one another in spirit. It's time for us to reset the way we learn, the way we live, the way we love, and the way we lead. Let us rise strong. We pray that we will be together soon.
Our sincerest gratitude also goes to our beloved school director and the administrators who made sure that all of us receive the highest quality of education and maintain excellence using whatever platform. In this case, the digital or virtual platform, a hallmark of the Ednas group of schools.
So, fellow graduates, let us pledge to dedicate ourselves to be responsible global pupils. We promise to contribute to the young outstanding minds for our school, our country, and our world. Be brave, be bold. Let us show our support to our new leaders and to our country to meet the challenges of a new world. As future leaders, we will open the gates for a brighter future. And just a friendly reminders to everyone, always keep safe, get vaccinated, and let us all stay healthy. Congratulations to all of us, and a big virtual hug to everyone. And always remember that God is beside us wherever we are.
As children who love peace, we pray that our chosen leaders would guide our country to become a better and stronger nation.
Thank you very much, and God bless us all.
The Cipriano C. Torrio Award, the Parent of the Year Award for the school year 2021-2022, is given to Mr. Julius M. Cayabyab, alumnus of Ednas School, Grade School Batch 1990, and Mrs. Editha L. Cayabyab of Ednas School, Dagupan. SPO1 Roger D. Peralta and Mrs. Myra D. Peralta of Ednas School, San Carlos. Attorney William Simon F. Peralta Jr. and Judge Ruby Ann P. Trivilla Peralta of Ednas School, Alaminos. Cipriano C. Torrio is the father of our school director, Dr. Edna Torrio Gonzalez. The text of the award reads, Ednas Group of Schools present this award to Mr. Julius M. Cayabyab, alumnus of Ednas School, Grade School Batch 1990, and Mrs. Editha L. Cayabyab of Ednas School, Dagupan. SPO1 Roger T. Peralta and Mrs. Myra D. Peralta of Ednas School, San Carlos. Attorney William Simon F. Peralta Jr. and Judge Ruby Ann P. Trivilla Peralta of Ednas School, Alaminos, for having been selected Parents of the Year in recognition of their invaluable sacrifices and noble services to their children for the cause of education. Given this 8th day of June, 2022. Signed by Maria Edna Soledad Gonzalez Blancaflor, Director of Curriculum, Supervision, and Innovation, Ednas Group of Schools, and Dr. Edna Torrio Gonzalez, President and School Director, Ednas Group of Schools.
Medals of loyalty are awarded to pupils who studied in Edna School Dagupan, Edna School San Carlos, and Edna School Alaminos from nursery to prep. We have the honor to present to you the loyalty awardees of the preparatory class, school year 2021-2022.
Jacob Esia Cayabyab E. Legaspi, son of Mr. Julius M. Cayabyab, alumnus of Ednas School, Grade School Batch 1990, and Mrs. Editha Legaspi Cayabyab. Triana Eve de la Cruz E. Bautista, daughter of Dr. Emmanuel R. de la Cruz and Dr. Beverly Bautista de la Cruz, alumni of Ednas School Batch 1998 and 1997 respectively. Timothy Joseph Peralta E. Trivilla, son of Attorney William Simon F. Peralta Jr. and Judge Rubian P. Trivilla Peralta. Isabel Chloe Rivera E. Orpilla, daughter of Miss Maria Lourdes O. Rivera. Chloe Marie Sadueste E. Decano, daughter of Mrs. Maria Corazon Decano Sadueste. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the loyalty awardees of the preparatory class of Ednas School year 2021-2022. Congratulations!
Ednas School Dagupan, San Carlos, and Alaminos reaffirmed their commitment to deliver quality education to our children as we prepare for more improved and inspiring days ahead towards August, the beginning of the new school year. Enrollment is ongoing as we are offering two options for school year 2022-2023 enrollment, on campus and online. For school year 2022-2023, there will be no entrance examinations for new pupils and students. Inquiries regarding essential requirements for admissions can be addressed to Janet Sabado Soriano, Head of Admissions and Guidance, at 075-522-2440 or 0917-478-6912. Classes in all levels will start on Monday, August 15, 2022. Parents' orientation and training will be on staggered schedule. For preschool, grades 1, 2, 3, and 4 parents, it will be on 10 August 2022. For grades 5, 6, 7, and 8 parents, it will be on 11 August 2022. And for grades 9, 10, 11, and 12 parents, it will be on 12 August 2022. Edna's group of schools will adopt limited face-to-face classes with hybrid or high-flex learning modality and to implement enhanced Edna's Reach and Grit program. Remote Edna's education in a collaborative home. This remote program is powered by the force of grit, growth, resilience, innovation, and technology. School year 2022-2023 will be another challenging yet exciting year for all of us. We believe that the thoughtful expansion of the use of flexible learning modalities traditionally and through technology may lay the foundations for a brighter, more relevant, and robust Ednas school experience in the years ahead. If we all do our part, support each other, and collaborate, we can facilitate a continuous learning path for our most cherished children during the new normal.
Traditionally, our graduates sing and perform two songs. In this graduation, these songs will be played to showcase and celebrate our graduates' school activities and achievements this year. The Edna School Hymn is the official alma mater song of Ednasians, from where its lyrics and music were originally composed by Patrick Joyce back in the early 70s. Its recent version was musically arranged by Pong Mendoza, a member of the Philippine Philharmonic Orchestra, which is interpreted by the grade 12 class of 2022 through a video presentation.
This year's graduation song, What a Wonderful World, is a song written by Bob Thiele and George David Weiss and performed by Louis Armstrong. The song encourages us to celebrate God's beauty and presence even in the small and seemingly ordinary things, to seek and discover the greatness which exists among and between us. The song continues to inspire every one of us through its timeless message of love, peace, and unity,
to be one with our leaders in creating a new and wonderful world to live in.
We would like to thank you for your continuous support and love for Ednas Group of Schools. Rest assured that we are working hard to deliver excellent teaching and learning modalities to your children even during this unprecedented time. We continue to support each other in this most unusual and uncertain circumstance but new normal, virtually and lovingly. Remember to stay home, stay healthy, and stay safe. See you soon. Thank you and God bless your hearts always.